What's going on, YouTube? It's Daniel with the Orange Shirt Crew, and today we're going to be interviewing your Ascent Boston winner and my teammate, Cody, aka the BobbyTortilla. And before we get into the video, as always, a huge thanks and shout outs to Modern Tabletop for sponsoring the team and this video. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop straight into the interview. What's going on, guys? We are here with the man himself, Mr. Number One, Mr. BobbyTortilla. What's going on, buddy?
Hey man, happy to be here.
So, what was it like? What was it like to hold that trophy up and get all those cool pictures taken of you?
I had no idea what I was doing, honestly. It just felt surreal to be there. There wasn't a lot of direction. It was just like, come get your trophy. And then Cindy just goes ahead and whispers in your ear, like, all right, just take a second. And so I was like, all right, I guess I'll hold the trophy up. I'm not quite sure what to do in this moment. Ricky Bobby, I don't know what to do with my hands type situation.
So, I know all of us the whole day we weren't expecting it, or really any of us to, take it all the way. Because, every time we were talk at lunch or any time in between rounds, we're like, no, it's not it, it's not it. What was that? What was that like to really be kind of like a dark horse and come into that event and just tear it up? What was that like?
Uh, it feels great actually. As like after day one, pretty good performance, came in at 11th. I'm like, wow, maybe I can like actually do this. I know Neto the whole time was saying, hey, look, you've beat this pony toss list a couple times. Like you can do it. Just buckle up, and just do it. And so I won that first couple matches in day two, and it just kept snowballing, snowballing, and snowballing. I think that momentum really carried me. Having these matches, especially against that same deck, I think did the math. I ended up playing it 6 times, and then ID'd with Pickle Sword at fourth match. So I would have played it 7 total times between the 2 days. So got a lot of reps into it, but it just felt like is positioned well, and it was just crazy to continue and just keep another match. And as Neto also said, hey dude, just think about it as a locals. That you're just doing the locals, right? You
Exactly.
just three more matches, just win the locals. That
Exactly.
always helps. Everybody was really cheering me on, telling me not to worry about my flight.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know you kind of touched on it a little bit. Um, what really, because I know a lot of people are going to want to know, what was it like to go against that pony toss list and then over the course of the rest of the day and the weekend to break down that matchup and to be like, okay, hey, I don't think this is like a bad matchup anymore. I think I can actually make this extremely favorable. Like, what was that like? And what was kind of your process of breaking that down as pretty much on the
Yeah,
fly?
yeah. So luckily with that list, I think. I mean, number one, the point toss list is terrifying.
Yeah.
If you ever have the misfortune to play against it, if they go first and they've got the DG, no defenses, they just go to three and hit you, and you're just gonna get punched for the rest of the game. And it's tough to get out of. A lot of decks just can't really do anything about that. So, um, fortunate enough, the Crux Lorraine deck has a lot of defensive options. Number one, Fluffy Shopkeep, best card they've printed in a long
Yeah.
time, in my opinion. Uh, is a great defensive option. Get buying me that extra turn because there's turns 1 and 2 are so important. So um, throughout the tournament, I was able to kind of build a strategy against this deck and got very knowledgeable about the list since all of the chess club members were playing. I'm pretty sure an identical list
Hmm.
between all of them. So having the day two or day one play it twice, day two play it 3 times, and then go into the top eight. At that point, I'd already kind of developed as, hey, look, just survive, put up a bunch of blockers, don't let them hit you, get to level one as quickly as possible, no matter what it takes. I think like game um, in the grand finals, maybe game two or
Hmm.
two or three, I ended up banishing like a dungeon guide to go to level one, which sucks. I really don't want to see that. But the alternate is getting hit and having to pay 3 for that Lorraine one, and that I'm not doing that. So
Nah.
yeah, build that like game plan over the course of the event, and then the games that are not top eight just win the dice roll. It's that simple.
True. Very true. That's what, and I think actually all of us talked about it, including the casters. I mean, the whole weekend, everyone was like, you have to go first. This
Yes.
is the meta that now is reliant on you going first, which is
Yeah.
really unheard of for Grand Archive because most of the time you can just you go first, second, and you'll be okay. But not against Pony Toss. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
too
it's a
crazy.
weird one. I mean, I've used to the old days of playing Wind Allies. You preferred to go second for that extra card. You wanted to
Yep.
double ally turn one if you could. And I made a couple of jokes, especially with Pickle Sword. He's like, I think I'm gonna go first on this one. I was like, I think I would be, I'd have to check in on you if you said you're gonna go second. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Oh my lord. So what really made you choose Fire Crux in Soul going into this week? Going into Boston.
Yeah, so I think as a group, we had been looking at this a lot. I mean, obviously, Neto started playing this kind of out of the box for DTR. I think we were eyeing Votive as a huge upgrade to the deck. I think we identified pretty quickly that Shopkeep was going to make it into it, but I think Votive was really what was driving that. Neto tested a couple different variations, and we kind of settled on a different style of list. He went off the list for a while, and I think probably about 2 weeks before the event, um, I was playing Fire Umber Diana, and I was just like, I just don't think it's got to go the distance, right? It's got kind of a similar game plan as Vanitas, but I just don't think it hacks them the same, right? Taser Shot's pretty
Hmm.
crazy, but you can kind of play around Taser Shot and the curses. It's not as exactly like Vanitas, and you don't have
Yeah.
that level 3 just punching you every turn. It's kind of something like gun, but easier to interact with. And so I was like, I don't think Umber Diana's got to go the distance. I've got a couple options here. I can go back to my roots, play Wind Allies. That seems like it's not well positioned in the meta. Um, I've played Insol a long time ago. I think the list is good. I see that Merlin is running around in the meta doing pretty well, and some of the Crux Lorraine decks are doing well. And I think that's kind of where I want to go. So I started trying to put together the list that we had worked on previously, made some changes, updated it, took out hasty messengers. I just didn't think it was that good, and went into the store champs. And then that's where, of course, Jacob taking the top spot there.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about the deck. A couple of the play patterns with Votive, how good Clarent was, how the fluffy Shopkeep just wins every match, and so made some changes, added crystallized destinies in the side, went up on the reduce to ash count, and made some of those changes and really finalized the deck. And then we just play tested it to death, and it felt really good in everything that we were play testing it. I think the only thing that I was kind of iffy on was like Lux and Xander,
Yeah.
and even then it wasn't unwinnable. It was just kind of unfavored, and I think just went into it with a lot of reps on the deck and felt good.
Understandable. I will admit, I think almost every night that I hopped on Discord to check in on y'all were just in there. Y'all were in it. Y'all were grinding
Yeah,
away, which is wild for our team in general to really test that hard because we
it
we
was a
test,
first
but
for a lot of us, but you could
yeah,
definitely see how it worked out. I mean, we had what four day twos for the group and like a
yeah,
ton of bubbles. I
yeah.
mean, it was a great showing for just like the DMV um, Grand Archive scene in general. I'm
For
really proud of everybody. I mean, everybody really stepped up. It's probably the best showing we've ever had. I don't think we
mhm.
had a day two previously. Now we have four and a win. And I mean,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah. That's huge. That's definitely huge for sure. So what I know you were talking about how we were testing and finalizing the list. What kind of techs were y'all really looking for that insole deck?
I think for me, it was really around defensive options. Particularly, I want the resolutes there. I just want to like fortify myself against aggro. There's a lot of Suzaku running around, which also Clarent is a huge piece. A lot of the on soul decks were not running Clarent, which I think was crazy. I didn't like the Looking Glass package. I want the GCR because I want to draw. So that was kind of a little side swappy there. And then the kind of the sideboard where all your tech slots, your fire interference, Regal Inquisition, which is just a crazy card. I mean, that one was just win you games on the spot, and it did win games on the spot. I learned my lesson against big hit decks and put Crystallized Destiny on the side, which helped out a ton. It was fine into Vanitas, so I was happy to bring it in there, and then Uh, just kind of that scepter in there for the Tristan matchup, the assassin, which I knew I was going to see, and I did see four in day one. Uh, but the rest of your Ryle package in there, that's pretty standard. I play four sweeps because I just think that card is crazy. If you hit a sweep against any kind of ally deck and kill 2+ allies, you're probably just winning the game on the spot. So, um, a little kind of ratio changes there, but mostly all your tech cards are in the side there, and I think most of it was heavy lifting by Regal Inquisition that week.
For sure. So I do want to ask because I kind of like spaced myself a little bit because I was talking with Travis a lot about Tristan, so I didn't really get to test with y'all and talk with y'all a lot about the list. But Fiery Interference, I know obviously that's a new card from GTR, and a lot of aggro decks play it. But how did it fare for you playing, on Soul and trying to board that card in? Like, did it come up a lot against like Mirror and other decks playing Serene?
I would say that I rarely boarded it. I didn't see too much Serene, so I boarded it in against Luxem Xander, so Wyatt, Robotron, and the top eight, and Sarev, the other Fire Luxem, who just destroyed me. I boarded it in those cases. I just didn't really get to play it. I think the game where I played top eight, I had it in hand, but I was resolving a sceptered Onsol there, so it was like unnecessary. It was just overkill at that point to have the fire interference. I think it's a good card. I'm still got to leave it in there in the side because it will just destroy someone who's trying to pop their spirit. But it's I just never had the opportunity to really get in there and actually play it. I think it was more of a one shot on Rending or a one shot on Onsol that was going to finish the game, and the 2 damage and the heal prevention was just not needed.
Gotcha. So I know diving in a little more into like your matchups, like did you find something during the weekend, other than Pony Toss that was kind of a, ooh, I don't know how I'm gonna fare into this deck?
Yeah, I was terrified to see Jin, which luckily I did not see. We did not test that matchup. I didn't think we were going to see a lot of Jin. Jin was all over the tournament, actually,
Yeah.
or at least kind of sitting right below where I was at in the tables. So I think if I had dropped a game in a critical portion of the week, I probably would have hit kind of a bigger spot of Jin players. I don't really know how it plays into Jin. I think you're just kind of trying to tap them over their total life total and see if they have the heal. If they don't have the heal, then they just kind of fall over. If they do, then they're wasting resources on it, and then just kind of play super defensively, bore in your crystallized destinies. But I'm not too sure about that matchup. Everything else felt pretty good. I was okay into aggro. I actually kind of wanted to see more aggro. I felt like that was almost unlosable, or unlosable at that point. If I could just power level, they just run out of resources. I was kind of iffy into Tristan playing before the weekend, and then I had 4-0 against Tristan for the weekend. So that ended up being like one of the easier matchups, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
It felt like kind of sketchy going into it, and then maybe I just found a rhythm. The cards were in the right spots, or what it was, but Flame Sweep MVP, nobody sees it coming, and getting rid of all of the shadow clones is crazy.
Yeah, I will admit, every time I went to come check up on you, and you're like, dude, I killed another Tristan. What?
Yep.
How? I don't understand how, but okay. I mean, hey, you're him.
It was like yeah, it was one of two ways. Got so many Tristan kills with Rending because they stick at 1 for so long, just trying to get their preps up so they can
Yeah.
go to 2, that they don't expect the Rending to come in, and it was like all they have is a failing for 1 or something, which is just not going to stop. I
Right.
would go to like level 1, take a turn off, maybe make Clarin or something, Fluffy Shopkeep, hit them a couple times with Fluffy Shopkeep, and then like hard level to 2, DG to 3 Rending. And it was like Rending for, 10, threatening 20 damage. And they just had no response. They would just
Oh.
die instantly, or here's coming in for 16. All they have is an Innervate Agility in hand. They just instantly die. So, yeah, Renning won so many matches. The other half is, resolving a flame sweep and then just hitting them with swords was like the other, I would say the other win. I ended up top decking a flame sweep after, so I think it was round 5 against Grothos.
Mhm.
He he Regal Inquisition my hand, took my flame sweep because that was going to be my ace in the hole to finish him, and he
Oof.
knew it. He snap picked that flame sweep out of my hand, and I had no way to finish the match because he had, I think, 54 prep counters.
Ugh.
Um, so that was not going to happen. I regaled him back and took out 2 Shadow Strikes and a Slice and Dice. So we're top decking for answers right now to win the game. He's 5ing me every turn with the dagger, trying to get me down. I'm just trying to find an answer to 54 prep counters, and I get the flame sweep the board and win the game. And so
Yo, that's crazy.
it was a crazy match, and I think that was game 2. If that one didn't go through, we would have probably drawn because we had like 5 minutes in the round before our 10-minute extension.
That's crazy. I,
Yeah, flame
I,
sweep is crazy.
yeah. So I gotta ask, we kind of already touched on a little bit. Is there any changes that you would make to the deck, or do you think everything has its place and you feel pretty good about it going forward?
I actually do want to make some changes. I think Crux sites, they were there for redundancies on souls and getting a Pendragon back or just cycling. And actually, the Crux site cycling was how I hit the flame sweep against Girthos. But I think the card could ultimately probably just be taken out of the list. I don't know what I would put there. It's probably going to be like utility slot, maybe just main board Regal Inquisitions, or
Hey, not bad.
yeah, or like an annul spell or something in there. I think that's probably the easiest cut. The rest of the list, I'm pretty happy with the ratios on it. I don't think I really would need to go to a 4 of on Resolute Sand, even though it is a fantastic card. I could probably go there. I think everything else feels pretty good. I'd be happy with that. But I think Cruxide is the big one I would cut right now, and then maybe some minor sideboard adjustments.
Gotcha. So I know, obviously, since you have your gauntlet slot, since starting in DTR, they start giving it out when you win an Ascent. Are you still going to go to events with us and everything and continue to travel and go to more Ascents and that type of thing? Or are you going to kind of just sit back and chill for a little bit?
I think I'm chilling for right now. Kind of looking at some later ascents, maybe like early 26, mid 26 to kind of come back. I don't know what the rest of the year is going to look like for ascents. Definitely regionals though. I've
Mhm.
already got this marked off on the calendar, so we're good for regionals and store champs and that sort of thing. But ascents are usually a little harder for me to kind of pull off. So we're kind of taking those bit by piece, but there is some plans to potentially do some in 26.
Gotcha. So the one last thing that I want to ask about the deck before we really get to close it out here. When you were playing against the Pony Toss deck, right? And I want to say it was, I think Pickle taxed you and you still leveled up and you still decided to make that jump even though you were taxed. What's kind of your thought process there when you're under the tax and you need to materialize something or you feel like you need to materialize something? Like, what's your decision there?
Yeah, it feels pretty terrible. It's like a dagger to the heart. So I my thought process in that game, so that's game 1 in the grand finals. I'd already been hit, so I know I've got that tax, and my thought process there is he's got the Delu on board, and I'm going to be taking 6 a turn if I don't deal with this Delu. I was like I had a Dungeon Guide in hand, and so I had and a Rending Flame, so I had one of two options I thought was going to be viable. I was either going to level and Rending Flames to the horse for 4, which felt like it was going to be miserable.
Yeah.
Or I could level in DG, get a card back, and just see where we go from there. And so ultimately, that's what I went for. I knew I had to get rid of some of the damage that was coming through. If I'm only taking 3 a turn, I can maybe make it work. But the issue with having the Delu on board is it's killing my taunters every turn. So like I can't
True.
just throw down a shotkeep. I can't just throw down a stalwart and it stick. I know it's just got to get cleared and I'm going to get punched anyway. So I have to get rid of his allies. And ultimately, it was close towards the end. I think I was 1 off on the clearance swing.
Yeah.
If they just didn't have Searing Rebuke, which I just anticipated having Searing Rebuke, but it feels miserable to have to pay 3 for the Lorraine. And the taxation really messes up the math. It's tough. You really have to essentially put cards down in their memory, knowing you're going to pay an extra card, which is not always easy to do.
Gotcha. So I know a lot of people are going to ask this, and I may or may not have been influenced to ask you these questions, but what are you planning on doing with your first place spirit?
So it's tough. I see the price tags that are people are floating around, especially with what Chess Club got for theirs. I think I'm holding on to it for right now, and then just seeing how I feel. I've got the okay from the wife saying that it's we don't need it right now. So if you want to keep it, you can keep it. So it's actually sitting right here in front of me. So I keep it on me. I kind of just want to keep it as a reminder. I think it's probably the one of the coolest things I'm probably going to do or have done. So having that is a nice reminder. It's kind of my own little trophy.
Well, I know a few people are going to be upset about that who asked me to ask you, but hey, it's okay. Maybe they might get it one day.
It's not a no forever. I think it's just I want to hold on to it for now while it's fresh, and then we'll see how it goes. I think I'm willing to part with it at some point. I just give it a couple weeks.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. So that was
Uh
going
oh,
to be my
here we go.
last
Here we go.
question. That was my last question is when are we going to see you buy that house? I know you and Pickle were talking
Oh
about it.
yeah, we were talking about the housing market. The the idea right now is April. April's looking
Oh,
kind of like early next year. So yeah, we're on a 1 year lease right now. So we'll be looking 2026. We'll be looking for a new place somewhere in Richmond.
okay, 2026. That's when the spirit's going away. Everyone heard it here
That's probably
first.
true.
But I appreciate you taking the time with us, man. And hopefully, I'll see you at locals this week, and hopefully not get smacked like you smacked everyone else.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, and hopefully I don't want to lose too much elo off.
All right, man. We'll catch you in the next one, of course.